Now we'll talk about the concept of coprimes. Now coprimes is first thing we must understand about the concept of coprimes is that this is a relative concept. Okay. Now relative concept means that there is no one single entity which can be a coprime. It has to be coprime in relation to another entity. Okay. So coprime is a relative concept, just like we can classify the students in a class as maybe males and females. Now, the gender of a student is a standalone concept. However, if we are talking about a couple of students being siblings, right? So that's a relative concept because that's how one student is related to the other student, right? So relative concept is one with respect to other, right? So coprimes is a relative concept, and coprime as a concept says that two numbers which have nothing in common, no factor in common, are called coprimes. Now what I'd like to clarify is I'm going to rule out 1 from here, because 1 is a factor which is common to each and every number, even all the primes, right? So we have to rule out 1. We have to discard 1 from this discussion. Now other than 1, if there is nothing common between two numbers, then these two numbers are going to be called coprimes. Now clearly, if both these numbers are primes, then they would anyway have nothing in common except 1. But can composite numbers be coprimes? The answer is absolutely yes. Let's take the example of 15 and 16, right? So 15 is 3 times 5 and 16 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 2 to the power 4, right? Both these numbers have nothing in common. This does not have a single 2, this does not have a single 3 or a 5, right? So there is nothing in common except 1, no factors in common except 1. That means 15 and 16 are coprimes. Another way of saying the same thing is that if the HCF of two numbers is 1, then they will be coprimes, right? So it's the same thing being said in another language in terms of HCF. If two numbers have their highest common factor as 1, then they are going to be called coprimes.